I would just like to issue a trigger warning. Today we'll be talking about depression and suicide and death. If any of those things may trigger you, please feel free to click off now. But today is December 10th, and to a lot of you, probably just another day. Maybe some of you it's your birthday, in which case, happy birthday. Most of you, I know myself included, used to be just waiting for Christmas. But last year, December 10th, 2024, my friend Patrick, or Ace, however you knew him, was buried after he took his own life on December 1st, 2024. I haven't talked about it ever because I was not there at his funeral. And that is what I wanted to talk about today. On that day, I actively chose not to go to one of my childhood friends' funeral. I am in a college wind symphony. Last year was my first semester, and we were playing debut piece. It was called Meet Your Maker. Okay, I was a freshman, and all I wanted to do was succeed. And so we had a recording day set up, December 10th. It was going to be my final, Now, with our wind symphony, there's just one saxophone per part, so I was the only bari player. And I didn't know Patrick had passed until December 6th. So it gave me 4 days. So December 6th or 7th at night, I was told that he had passed by my friend. And I didn't process it at first. I didn't accept that he was dead. And one of the first things I felt was frustration, because me and him were on the same campus and he never reached out, which I never understood why he didn't. Even to this day, I don't. I texted him 3 or 4 times asking how he was, why he wasn't in marching band, would he like to meet up. Thank you for convincing me to go to the college I did. And I looked at it, and his funeral started at the exact time, 11 a.m., as the recording we were doing. And the viewing was the night before, and he was 6 hours away from where I was. It was impossible for me to make both. And in my mind, I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this recording in memory of him, and I'm going to play so amazingly, and it's going to get thousands and thousands of views. We're going to become famous. We're going to be like huge, popular band, and it's going to boost me, and I'm going to become a great career musician. That did not happen. I spent the next 4 days after learning that he passed practicing a lot, and self-isolating. At the time I had a relationship, I did not talk to them at all about what I was feeling. I didn't talk to anybody. Every time I thought about crying, I would bite down the urge, distract myself with video games or things I wasn't proud of, or just practicing. I practiced for hours and hours and hours. So I was going to do this recording, I was going to be perfect. It was going to be perfect, and some professional was going to notice, and this was going to change my life. And I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced. And December 10th rolls around. December 9th, my mom had gone to the viewing. She called me crying. She said how beautiful he looked and how much it hurt her that somebody my age, only a year older than me at the time, had taken their own life, and the mortality of it. She never understood people with suicide. She never understood it. And she cried at me about it and told me about how beautiful he looked and how long his hair was. And I remember playing Meet Your Maker that day, and I worked my butt off. I played parts better than I ever had. I was so proud of myself. But the recording, we spent so much time on random parts and talking and stuff like that. For some reason, we FaceTimed the creator, and he was just rambling about how goofy the piece was meant to be, and it's a 15-minute song. We only had 2 hours to record. At most, you get 8 flat-through recordings. We were recording sections, but we spent the first hour on the single first section, which was the easiest section. We move on to part 2, we get a couple tries, and we record it. By the time we get to part 3 and 4, we get 1 run through of each, and that's it. We just play through them, record it, and that's it. I think, okay, maybe it's not our best recording. We had people leave halfway through, things like that, but we will make it work. Maybe it won't be millions of views, but it'll be thousands of views. It'll be something that I can talk about. Well, I was part of this college band that premiered this song, you know. Go look on YouTube, kind of famous. That was December last year. Shortly after that, I was given sheet music for a California trip we did. And I got my first ever solo. I was a featured soloist in a song called La Chocolate. And I remember the day I got it. It was just a couple days, I think, after, or maybe the day I discovered he died. But I remember thinking that this was a blessing from him. A hoorah. You know, he was also in marching band. You know, I thought maybe this was his, you got this, keep going. You know, and that's what I did. I just kept going, and I didn't think about it. I went to visit him over Christmas with my friends. I don't know if my one friend will ever be the same, knowing that I didn't go. I don't know if he understood my mentality around it. And it was California last semester, and that's all we had time to focus on was we're going to California. We're from the East Coast. I mean, it's a huge trip. This is a huge opportunity. Again, all I could think about was how great this opportunity could be. Maybe the California band director will pull me aside and offer to pay for me to come to their school. They'll just give me a full ride. I won't have to pay to college anymore, and they'll be so amazed by my solo. And that's all I could think about for the next 3 months as my personal life fell apart. And it fell, and it crumbled. And all I could focus on was I need to hit this goal. I need to hit this goal. I need to succeed for my previous actions that I had made. I played. I did not do bad. I mean, I thought I did pretty decent. The California directors did not pull me aside and ask for me to come to do their band. And a couple weeks ago, we were actually talking, me and my friend were cracking jokes about Meet Your Maker, because it was a very complex piece, and it was very weird. It had a lot of weird parts, and not a lot of people in the band liked it, because it was challenging. It was a challenging piece at times, and not challenging in the sense of really fast, but sometimes it was just such a weird subdivision thing that not a lot of people like those weird tempo subdivisions, etc. And so I asked my director, I said, hey, what's going on with the Meet Your Maker? He shrugged his shoulders and said, you know, the back editing wasn't really it, and, you know, it wasn't really exactly what the composer had in mind, and it's not exactly what he envisioned, so we're not going to do it. And I remember just sitting there after he said that. I remember almost disassociating. I remember not being in that room anymore. I mean, I was there, I was playing, but I wasn't there. I missed seeing my childhood friend for the last time after he struggled with depression and feeling alone for so long. I missed seeing him and saying goodbye one last time. For something that didn't even matter. You know, I now know a year later, the recording might have gotten 50 views, if that. And 48 of those would have been us watching them. And, for a very long time, and even now, I still feel guilt for my decision. Not so much now, but for a long time, like right after he told me that the music was scrapped, that really hurt. And before that, when it hadn't been posted, I was like, was it really worth it? Once I started to learn how irrelevant these videos were. Because, I mean, the solo I got, Electronica, I thought was an amazing piece. The band that played it, I thought was flawless, and they only had 1,200 views. And I knew we weren't at that level, and that's when I realized world premieres don't mean anything in this field. And I resented myself for my decision. And I resented the world for putting me in that situation. And I question my relationship with music, and if it is a toxic one, which is something I need to discuss another day. But there is a purpose to this, and that is that I don't question or hate myself as much anymore. Because when I went to visit him, I go and visit him every time I'm home, I don't feel like he hates me. I feel like I would feel his hatred visiting him if he blamed me. I think, and I know in my heart, that Patrick would have wanted what was best for me in my career. Because as much as he liked to pretend he didn't care, or act like he didn't care, act nonchalant, I know deep down he cared. Well, I believe he cared. And that's the thing that I wanted to mainly bring around and wrap up this day, is you cannot control what someone's feeling. You can offer, I'm here, I care about you a lot, I'm here to listen to your problems, but that doesn't change whether or not they reach out to you or change what they do. You can only try and help, and that's only going to do so much, you know. That I don't think I regret reaching out. Like, for a while there, I was like, if I just reached out one more time, maybe that would have been it. But I messaged him 5 times, 4 times without response. What would have said that next time was it? Why couldn't have the time before been the time? That I can't beat myself up wondering what could have happened. I feel like if he was here now and I were to explain the situation to him, I think he would tell me it was okay to go to music. And for the longest time, I coped with saying it was okay. And I still do. I still tell myself it's okay. But ever since I learned that the recording was pretty much useless, every once in a while, as I sit here on my phone or just lay in bed, I'm like, I wish I had gone instead. I wish I had been there with all of my childhood friends, surrounded, grieving somebody that I loved and cared about, with people that loved and cared him and me. Instead I didn't, and instead it put a lot of stress on my psyche and a lot of problems with people and music and my relationship with music and my relationship with people inside music and just relationships in general, friends, partners, whatever. So many things were affected by the musical ambition I have, which is already slightly a problem to be discussed, and then the guilt I felt with the suicide and not going. And for the longest time I was really upset, and looking back I was like, man, all these relationships fell apart, I made the wrong decision, this is my punishment. But I wonder if maybe I made the right decision, and then that was Patrick coming and saving me from unhealthy things and unhealthy people. I don't know. But for you that might be watching this and might have just had a friend that passed, or somebody that you cared about die or take their own life, and you're wrestling with, I missed it because of this, this, and this, or I'm gonna miss it and I'm a terrible person. You're not. And that person loved you, and they know that you love them, and it's okay. Not to say, well, I'm gonna sit and lay in my house and watch Family Guy rather than to go to the funeral and he's gonna be okay with it. No, that's what I'm saying. You might have a family to take care of, daughter's recitals to go to, a sick grandma to take care of. It's okay for your life to take over and this just miraculously pop up. As long as in your heart you truly love that person and you cared about that person, they will know, and they will not hold resentment towards you. I know that, and I believe that to be true, because I know that's what I'm experiencing with Patrick.